was born to be free.
Good morning. It's Friday the 6th of March. I've taken the day off work for a shakedown sail. I'm here at the pointy end of Bembridge. I have to say I love the way she sits in the water, especially given that she's got 50 metres of chain and a 15 kilo rockner on the front. She sits nicely and she cuts her way through water beautifully. If you've been following these videos, you'll know that I've replaced the engine instrument panel, and also my last sail down to the nab tower had a problem with the traveller for my mainsail sheet. So that's now replaced with this one, and that's much more sturdy. Didn't need to replace the track, and so I'm keen to try that out. And of course I've got my lovely instrument panel slightly hidden behind the morning dew. I want to give that a good try out. So we're here. The weather is mild. I'm in a t-shirt, but I'll dress up before I go out. Possibly some rain later on this morning, and I'm going to go to Bembridge. I went to Bembridge a lot as a kid, but I can't really remember it. My dad had a boat on Hayling Island, and I haven't been there in the almost 2 years that I've had Bembridge. So it's a nice little, motor through Chichester Harbour, and then a hop across the shipping channels into Southampton and Portsmouth. Just got across those, and Bembridge is pretty much the first location on the Isle of Wight. So I should get there around high tide, lunchtime, and afternoon I may be able to do the canvas protection for that. I've got all the bits I think I need, so we can try that, see if that can work, and spend the night there. I've got electricity there, so I brought like a gnocchi. It's too early in the season for the restaurant, so I bought a gnocchi meal, spaghetti bolognese, that kind of thing. Spend the night and then sail back tomorrow when the winds may be a little bit fresher, and I'll be punching into them. They're swinging from northerlies to almost easterlies, but that'll be nice because I'd quite like to load up the rigging with that new rig and see how that performs. Get back here about lunchtime tomorrow, Saturday. So come with me and let's have some fun. I'm really looking forward to this. So there's some things I want to do as the boat gets ready. Put some more water in, things like that, get the lines ready, take in the electricity line to shore power. But I'll do that as the engine warms up. So let's start the engine in the new way we do. So we now have this ignition key. Let's just see how much current that's drawing. So at the moment I've got the lights on and we're drawing 0.8 of an amp. Let's turn the ignition on. It barely changed, did it? Which is interesting because it's actually providing power. You can see the red LED shining through this lens in the stairs. It's actually providing that little trickle power to the alternator, the excitation. But while I'm here, I'll also turn on my 4G unit because I'm going to use that through the crossing. We'll do the rest of the stuff later. And so now in the panel, despite a bit of mist, I can probably wipe that off for you. Let's just wipe that off so you can see. This is why I want to put a nice bit of canvas on here, protect it from the elements. So we've got backlights on. I can mute the low pressure alarm, but I don't think I will. We're at 12.9 volts. No oil pressure. The tank's full, but ignore that. It's not in the tank yet, and we're cold. So to start this engine, you put it all the way forward in neutral. You pull and push on this. It hasn't been started in a week. Pull the revs back a bit and we press the big button. RPM is alive. I normally take it up to about 1800 RPM to begin with. There's not much oil pressure, normally. I'll check the oil, so there's plenty of oil, but I don't like to over rev it while it's cold. Let's go back a bit to about 1800. Oil pressure is actually looking good, so we're at 3.5 bar, which is perfectly acceptable. I looked at the manual. You can go down to about almost 0.8 bar actually at idle when it's warm. So we've got oil pressure. The alarm's gone off. We're at 14.2 volts. So the alternator is doing its thing and charging. So look, I'm going to get the boat ready. and get kitted out, ready to go out. Been a bit of a breeze, a bit of haze in the distance. I'll get the sails ready. I'm hoping we can sail, and I'll bring you back when it's time to go. Yeah, the water pump's working well, sploshing out lots of water. Chichester, Chichester, this is Sampigita, over.
Sampigita, good morning, Chichester, go ahead, over.
Chichester, Sampigita, request permission to come through the lock, please, over.
No problem at all, make your way down, I'll get the gates open for you now, give a green light.
We are flying along 4.5 knots into an incoming tide. So those sails are now giving us a good knot, 6 knots off the beam. I've gone for full sail. Full sail, just loosen my reefing lines, get a good shape. Because seriously, we're not going to get over 10 knot winds today. At least that's not forecast, and if things change, I'll adapt. But yeah, I want to get the rigging working. This is looking very, very good. My new mainsheet carrier there, and yeah, we're flying along. So the rain that was forecast has arrived. Just still transiting Chichester Harbour, but I'm just looking at these breakers over the very shallow water there. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, you want to stay to the channel in this harbour. There's shingle banks there. Seen a couple of other boats, fishermen, 2 fishermen and 1 yacht. And I don't mind if it rains the whole way, I really don't, it's fine. I think the rain's going to clear up in the after lunch. Probably won't when I get there. So I'm about to turn and go downwind, and hopefully that way when it all kind of gets a bit more stable, a bit more wind assist. But it's lovely, it's just lovely. Motor sailing, wing on wing, with a 6 knot wind, 5 knot wind behind me at 2000 RPM, doing nearly just 3 knots. The tide is pouring in here. So apart from the fact visibility is very poor, but there's no one out. We're going to get out of here, but the water is flying past. Speed through water looks like it's like 6 knots, but at least. But we're getting out and then it will calm down. So we made it out Chichester Harbour. I knew we needed to leave against the tide just because of timing today. But with wing on wing sails and about 2000 RPM we got out okay. It's nice. It gives you confidence having instruments, because I know the engine's not overheating, because it's sitting down at 50 degrees, which is what it should be, because the water coming in from the sea is single digits. It should only really go over that if I've got a problem and I know I've got good water coming out. And oil pressure very stable, under 3.1 bar. So when you know you're not overstressing or overheating the engine, it just gives you the confidence to open up the horses a little bit. And then now, as I'm out of the tide and I go over 4 knots, I can just drop the engine back a bit, because I'm quite happy doing 4 knots. And then we'll see when I get past West Pole and I turn right and head towards Bembridge and realign the sails. Do I need the engine at all? We will find out. At the moment I've only got a 3 knot apparent wind behind me, not a lot. Good news is that perspex cover is protecting the instruments from this rain really nicely. Bad news is I can't see the Isle of Wight. It's out there. Right, I just want to check if the engine, because this is a shakedown, and I want to make sure there's no oil leaks from the oil pressure sensor, that the alternator and belt look okay. So let me get this steps off, and then we can do that. Blimey, they're almost one-handed undoable now. Like this one, is this going to play ball? I've checked ahead, so that's just a lens on that LED. Fan belt is wobbling a bit more than I'd like. I want to tighten that up. No oil leaking from the oil pressure sender. All looks pretty good. So yeah, this is a bit of wobble. Can you see that slapping on the fan belt? I've got to try and tighten that up when I get there. Wiring all looks solid. Cool. Yeah, there's a big tanker coming out of probably Southampton. Somewhere in the Merc. And it was going to be, and I need to cross the shipping channel to the Isle of Wight, it was going to be within half a mile, and I was going to be ahead of it by half a mile. I don't like that because I'll be freaking him out. I'm not on AAS, and he'll wonder, why am I so close? So I actually turned into the wind. I'll sail up, that'll actually give me a nice downwind, more of a sail. And so in other words I'm going to skirt up. Let me show you. Yeah. Oh. Can you see these green buoys and red buoys? This is the shipping channel. So I was going to be crossing here ahead of him. I'm now turning up into the wind and I'll let him go in front of me, and then I'll cross the channel further up, and then I'll come down the coast of the Isle of Wight with a bit of more of a wind from astern, and before taking sails down near St Helena Fort. That's the plan. This just seems the safest thing to do, and I'm still doing 4 knots even though I'm in idle. So I think actually what I'll do is I'll stop the engine. That's my oil pressure alarm, which I'll now mute, because if I'm doing 4 knots then that's enough to have really great control And yeah, I'll just head up towards Portsmouth a bit, let him cross, and then come behind him. Being a good boy, I will now go downstairs and turn off my steaming light. I'll leave my navigation lights on. Ooh, so at least we're getting a bit of a sail. Isn't that a beautiful sight? It's raining. Yeah, nice and quiet. There's a tanker over there. He's no problem, tanker there. But yeah. Oh, and that's Portsmouth VTS down there. So I can listen in case they start talking about a crazy sailing boat out in the Solent. So I'll just monitor that. Okay, so I hope you can hear me. There's the tanker that I let go in front by changing course. It looks very big for me. For you it looks like a dot on the horizon. And then I've got Mont Saint Michel, my friend from the time I went to the Nav Tower, coming in. But I'm halfway across the channel now anyway, and I'm listening on Portsmouth VTS, and so I'll be well out of his way, although he's steaming along. But this channel is so narrow here, I'll be over in about a minute. But I'll show you how close he passes behind me. You may not even be able to see him, but he's on the horizon, just coming out of the murk. So as that red buoy passes No Man's Land Fort in the distance, and I can see the red buoy over there, that means I'm out of the channel. Lots of these ships around. Some of these are moored. There's a big tanker that went past me, and there's Mont Saint Michel. So that's how close we got. In fact, I was well up his way. He's right on the right hand side of the channel. Maybe because of me, maybe because of that tanker. That felt like the right decision. Although I did cross at a very narrow point, and I did it at 2,200 RPM, which I don't normally like doing, but I just wanted to show my intention to get out his way. In all of this Solent sailing thing, getting used to the speed that massive ferries pour in and out of this area between the Isle of Wight and Nav Tower is probably the biggest surprise. I don't remember this when I was a kid. My dad didn't have any of these instruments. I don't remember dodging so many ferries, but it's quite a thing, especially on a gloomy day like this. Right, well, I've made it. Very hazy. There's St Helens Fort, and now I need to pick my way through the navigation buoys, but there's no one else around, so it should be easy. Sails are down, fenders are ready, lines are ready on the port side. Might as well bet into the port side too. 50-50 chance. And I've got the navigation guide printed out there, and I'll get through closer to the Marina and then give them a call on the radio, see where they want me. To time warp that. I don't know if that's going to come out, but if not, you'll see the navigation when I leave tomorrow. I'll video that in a different way. Such a warm welcome, and they even come down in the pouring rain and help take your lines and berth your boat. And look, it's really quite empty this time of year, so a nice double bay. So I'm gonna, well, let's get that engine off. Let's get that engine off. 3 bar, about 50 degrees, ticking over beautifully, and mute that, and I'll actually go down and turn off the ignition. Yeah, look how wet these steps are. It has been raining since I left Chichester. Oh yeah, nice. Well, here I am in Bembridge Harbour at Duver Marina. And look at all these empty finger berths this time of year. I think in summer this place gets rammed. And then you get the harbour itself, and the clubhouse is up there. And there's this nice channel marked by these red buoys. It's a bit dark and dreary. You know, it was raining all the way I was coming here. But I wanted to show you this because I've done it. Look, I've left it quite loose because I've got a feeling that in the sun it's going to shrink. So it's not crazy loose, but look, it will protect most wind and rain. And then it's just easy. You just pop it off with poppers. And look, I replaced the screws with poppers with screws in. And my beautiful engine gauge, which has now got 4.1 hours on the clock, now has a cover, bespoke, unique, which kind of matches this, which kind of matches the one I've got there as well. And I've got loads of canvas left, so I think I'm going to make a boot for the mast. Not today, but soon. Make a boot for the mast. I might even make some covers for my hatches because the sun comes in quite early in the summer and wakes me up. Look, I wanted to do that last weekend and I couldn't do it. I think that's amazing, don't you? Hey, it's about 6 o'clock, so it's 40 minutes before low tide, but the sun, the light is fading. Sun has gone. The sun wasn't even out, was it? It's still spitting rain, but I wanted to show you. Can you see? The edge of the water is right behind the boat, and these red buoys are now dry, so they obviously dredge very close to these finger berths, and all these other boats are all high and dry. And if you're on the other side, that's okay, you're still floating, but again the dry land is very, very close behind your boat. It'll also be low tide tomorrow morning, so I may take a video then. But my dinner's in the microwave. I'll be doing a few things, removing some unused electronics from the engine, tightened up the alternator, put on this cover, which is handy because it's raining, and yeah, I think I'm going to have a very early night. Last video from me tonight, and I wanted to show you what the instruments look like at night when I'm doing the night sail. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's very clear. Oh, those backlights look good.